And yesterday we spotted 2 bucks, or I spotted 2 bucks, and we went down and sat with them for probably 6 to 8 hours most of the day from 9:30 until dark. And it was just her and I hunting, and when we got in there we ended up getting tight and got within 120 yards of one of the bedded bucks, but not the bigger buck, and it's kind of thick in that country. Anyway, we sat there and waited for these deer and waited for these deer. An 11-year-old girl was with me, my daughter, and they ended up getting out on us, feeding away from us, but we didn't know they were going to do that. It was a pretty nerve-wracking and challenging scenario, because we couldn't obviously see the deer. I was wishing, to be honest with you, that I had somebody up here on this hill and that was communicating with me via text or via two-way radio. Where I hunt, the state I live in, not all the states obviously I hunt, but the state I live in, Arizona, it's legal to do that. Now, by Boone and Crockett and Pope and Young record books, by their FairChase standards, it is not legal to do that. I'm not condoning or condemning this use of technology or communication to communicate with your hunter. You can argue whether or not this is FairChase. Obviously, by Boone and Crockett and Pope and Young guidelines or rules, it is not if you're going to enter an animal in the books. And I know there's animals that get entered into the books that have basically broken the rules of FairChase. Selfishly, there's an 11-year-old girl in that truck that, had we had a spotter, I know for a fact that more than likely that we would have got a shot and probably killed that buck, just because we got in there and got in tight on him. The only thing we didn't know was where he was going. So with that being said, I know it creates an advantage. Anytime you can get a spotter up on a hill or down below glassing for you, and you can communicate with that person, it really creates an advantage. So what I'm getting at is, what's your thoughts? Is it ethical? Is it FairChase? Is it legal in your state? And have you done it? I'm here to say I have, and I'm not afraid to talk about things that might negatively affect my business, or that might affect the way hunting is perceived. I think these things need to be talked about. There's something about the communication, and I think it's going to continue to get even better, that it's something we really need to look at, is whether or not it's actually FairChase, and a lot of states probably need to get on board and see whether or not it's a legal issue, and how do you go about managing that. So anyway, that's all I wanted to see. Make sure you comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and feel free to voice your opinion, and keep it clean, and realize that I'm opening this stuff up, and willing to talk about it, in hopes that you'll communicate with me.